verse 18. And it says, I will arise and go to my father. I will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and I am no more worthy to be called your son. Make me one of thy hired servants. If I could tag this text with a subject, it would be, I hope you fail. I hope you fail. This may not be a popular sermon, but I hope you fail.
All right.
Preacher, how you going to tell me on the last day of 2013, I hope you fail? That just don't make no sense. It doesn't make sense when it says in Romans 8:31, if God be for me, who can be against me? Why are you telling me I hope you fail? When Deuteronomy 31:6 says, be strong and of good courage. That's very discouraging when you tell me, preacher, I hope you fail. But I stand here tonight saying, I hope you fail. If I would go into the introduction, it says, everyone in this world today is chasing after success, trying to be successful. But Robert Kennedy says it best. In order to see a great success, you have to see a great failure. Wow. Anyone that is successful in something had to fail in something. Yeah. And that brings me to the text. Let me tell you an abbreviated story of the prodigal son. It's a popular text that a lot of people preach on. But if you look back at verse 12, there was this young man, a bull-headed, arrogant man. Young man, sorry, it wasn't a man, he was a boy. He went and got his inheritance. He demanded his father to give him his inheritance. He took it and went with it. Spent it on wild living and riotous living. We know what all that means. Riotous living is just living and spending that money like it ain't nothing. Yeah. Right? But this young man, he spent his money, and then a mighty famine came over the land. A mighty famine. Not just a famine, a mighty famine. When that mighty famine came, he had no more money. So he had to get the dirtiest job. Yeah. The worst job you could ever have as a Jewish man was to feed the swine. But not only was he feeding the swine, he didn't have any money, so he didn't have anything to eat. So he was down on his knees, head bowed, and something clicked. He was about to eat the mess that the pigs eat, but something clicked. And that brings me to verse 17, and it says, and when he came to himself, he told himself, I will arise and go to my father. And that brings me to my first point. Failure brings about dependency.
Right.
When he was in the midst of his mess, at the lowest point of his life, he came to his senses and said, I will run back to my father. Yeah. He said, I will run back to my father. And that shows us our failures in life will always teach us how to depend more on God. Yeah. The Bible says in Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Direct your paths. If we would learn to trust God, we wouldn't be in half the mess that we in.
All right, Gabe.
We wouldn't be in half the mess he was in if he looked to his Father first and not to his own understanding. But not only that, Proverbs 16:25 says, there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. When we choose the direction in our lives according to what we see that is right, it will lead us always to disaster. always disaster. In the son's case, it led him to disaster. He did what he wanted to do and ended up in a mess of situation. But not only is God looking for us to depend on him and run back to him when we fail, he's looking for a reaction. Let me say that again. Not only is he looking for us to depend on him and to run back to him, he's looking for a reaction. If we look at verse 19, it says, I am no more worthy to be called thy son. And that showed me something. He said, I am not worthy to be called thy son. The son not only depended on the Father, he worshiped the Father when he ran back to him. And that's what the Father looks from us. He's looking for a reaction of true worship. Of true
All right, Gabe.
Excuse me. Our family should teach us how to give God the glory. The son was not ashamed to give God the glory because what he had been in a messed up situation. If you would agree with me, he was failing in life. Failing in life. But when he ran back to the Father and worshiped him, something happened. He was not ashamed to give God the glory. And that's what we should do. When we come into God's house, our failures should tell us, give God the glory. We should not be pumped and primed. We should not have to be pumped and primed to give God the glory. We should not be pushed and be screamed at to give God the glory. We should have the mentality of David that says, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall continually be in my mouth. We should come into the house of God with a determined mind. Determined to give God the glory. Our failures should push us to a place where we are undignified to give God the glory.
All right, Gabe.
So as I take my seat, I'm not over my time, man. As I take my seat, I tell you, I hope you fail. I tell you, I hope you fail. Your failures should cause you to depend on the Father. So I hope you fail. Your failures should bring you to give God the glory. So I hope you fail.
Okay, Gabe.
I hope you fail. Your failures should bring you in good company with the people. And I hope you fail. I hope you fail. Yeah. I hope you fail. Let me take it back to 2007. Yeah. I hope you fail. Your failures in 2013, it's time to give God the glory in 2014. So I hope you fail. All the things that you failed at in 2013, maybe you failed at a business, I hope you fail because you can give God the glory and start all over again in 2014.
All right, Gabe.
Last day of 2013, give God the glory through your failures. But I can't sit down without telling you how much of a failure I am. I can't sit down without telling you how much of a failure I am. You're looking at a preacher that failed the second grade. I failed. I hope you fail. I failed the exit exam in high school. I failed. I hope you fail. I got fired at some jobs. I failed. I hope you fail. I had a baby out of wedlock. I failed. I hope you fail. I'm sorry. You got kind of quiet right there. Hey, that was a change in my life. It changed my life. I failed. I hope you fail.